Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. Of course, welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, then make sure you put that subscribe button on, and also you might as well put the notification bell on while you're there, just so you're notified of every single time that I upload a new video. So for today's video, we are going to be testing a little bit of Primark's makeup. I have 3 eyeshadow palettes from like one of their new collections, and it's these ones. I don't know if you've seen them in your local Primark, but these seem to be like new releases for summer. So these all retail for £5 each. You get a honey one, a peachy and a cherry. We are going to be swatching these. I'm going to do an eye look incorporating all 3 of them, and then at the end I'll give you my final thoughts on these. So without further ado, let's jump on into it. Like, they're kind of in this like silicone-y packaging. I don't know, I'm not really a massive fan of it. It's quite I don't know, like childlike, if you know what I mean. And these are what the insides look like. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get 10 pans of eyeshadow. You also get a mirror in here. This is what the honey one looks like. So obviously this one is revolved around the yellow scheme. I'm loving the fact that all these like brands are coming out with like monochrome palettes. It's amazing. This one looks like a pretty decent yellow palette, to be honest. It has a few variations of yellow, then it has like your golds, it has like a neutrally brown in here as well. And then you have a peachy palette, again same kind of like silicone-y packaging. Yeah, I'm just not a massive fan of the packaging, to be honest. This is what the peachy one looks like. This is just not my favourite palette, to be honest. It doesn't really scream peachy to me, do you know what I mean? It's probably got 1 or 2 shades that are peachy to me, and then all the rest of them are just a bit random. But I'll definitely obviously incorporate this into the look. And then the last one is called Cherry. Again, exactly the same packaging, and I actually really like this colour scheme. If I just show you, this is what it looks like. So again, a really nice kind of reddy colour scheme. I love the look of these shimmers that are in here. They look so like, oh, look at that. They look stunning. I cannot wait to try these. So before we jump on into the eye look, I am going to swatch all of these like one by one for you, and then we can dive on into it. So let's get started on the swatches. So this is the honey palette all swatched. They are quite powdery, but for £5, I mean, they are very decently pigmented. This yellow is really pigmented actually, and the shimmers are probably not my favourite. They are a bit like dry to touch, and they're not like the most like reflective. This is the peachy palette, and the shimmers in here are definitely a lot better. I wasn't really a big fan of this colour scheme, but I love this like first row. It's so beautiful and like pinky peachy, so it is really nice. This is very pigmented. Yeah, as I said, the shimmers are a lot better in here. So yeah, overall a little bit better than the honey palette. And this is the cherry palette, and again, very impressed with these swatches considering it's more of like a reddy palette. Shimmers again are definitely better than the honey one, so I think the honey palette is probably the worst swatch so far, but doesn't mean it's going to be bad on the eyes. I have got a little bit of staining on my fingers and on my arm, so just be a bit wary of that when you use the cherry palette, because, you know, very stainy. Stainy, that makes no sense. Let's zoom in now. Before we start, obviously I'm going to prime my eyelids. I'm just going to put a little bit of the P. Louise base on. I'm using the shade 02 today. This shade does actually work for me. The first shade is just a little bit more brightening. I feel like all of these colour schemes kind of go together anyway, like red, orangey, peachy and yellow. They do just work together. So I'm just going to do like a nice blown out warm tone look, and then I'll use like a really stunning shimmer from one of the palettes like all over the lid. So let's jump on into it. By the way, I'm very blush heavy today. That is the Flamingo Blush Palette by Revolution. I hope you like it. Oh. Firstly, I'm going to take the Cherry palette, and I'm going to take this shade here. There seems to be quite a few mattes in here. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 mattes and 5 shimmers, which is quite a nice variation. I'm just going to take this red. There's not really that much fallout with it actually. A little bit, but not that much. And then I'm going to put this all kind of over my crease. That shade is really pigmented. It's actually more red than I thought it was going to be. It's definitely more on the pink side, but considering it is in a £5 palette, that is really pigmented and it's actually not bad in colour. Like, I really like that shade. Next, I'm going to take the Peachy palette and I'm going to take this one down here and I'm just going to blend that like just at the top. Oh my goodness, can you see how pigmented that is? I'm just going to tap off a little bit and just blend it at the very top edges. I don't want to take it too high because I am going to place yellow at the very top. Again, very pigmented and it blended really well with that red shade we used, so I'm very happy with that. And then I'm going to take the Honey palette and I'm going to take this pale yellow up here and I'm just going to blend that at the top of where I put that last shade. This is a little bit more powdery, but that's not an issue. I'm actually very impressed at how well these are all blending together. Like, they are working so well. I'm just going to go back in with that previous brush. I'm not going to put any additional product on it. I'm just going to slightly blend the edges together. Ooh, been doing a lot of warm tone looks recently. I'm very much enjoying it. I feel like because it's summer, warm tone look, you know. I'm going to stick with the Honey palette. I'm going to take this brownie shade here and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the outer corner. This is more of like, I don't know, like a cool toned grey. I don't know if that's going to go actually. Is there anything in the Cherry palette? Oh, okay, yeah, right, scrap that. We're going to take this shade in here, which is a bit darker, but it's going to go with the red a bit better, I think. Let's see what shimmers the Peachy palette offers. Okay, maybe if we take this one, it's got a bit of a gold shift to it and I feel like that would be really stunning with like all of the red and stuff. Yeah, let's use that shade. I'm just going to take this on a flat brush and I am going to take it dry first as well because I don't know how pigmented this is going to be. So you can kind of make it work dry, but I am going to wet it. I'm just going to take this Prime and Infuse Coconut Hydrating Spray just to wet my brush. I think these are discontinued. Me and my patrons have continuously been looking in Primarks to see if we can find them, but I'm pretty sure these have been discontinued now, which is so annoying because these are so cute and would have made like such a cute like addition to their permanent line. I've actually given 2 of mine away to my patrons because I felt bad that a couple of them hadn't managed to pick them up. I had all 3 of them. They're discontinued. There's no point me keeping all 3 of them because you guys can't go out and buy them. So I've just kept one of them, which is the coconut one. And yeah, I just felt a bit bad that a couple of them couldn't get their hands on them, which is annoying. I wish they would just release them, but yeah, they just look like the MAC ones. Oh, there we go. I was like, why is it not working? It's because I didn't have it down properly. But yeah, they're really cute. They're just like the MAC ones and this smells like coconuts. What do you smell, Ashleen? So it does apply fine wetting your brush, but it applies so much better using your finger. It just applies a little bit more pigmented. They're not the best shimmer formula I've ever played with, but for £5 you can't really complain. So from the Cherry palette, I think I'm going to take that same brown I put on my outer corner and put that all across my lower lash line. And then for my inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to go to the Honey palette, and I'm just going to take this gold shimmer here. Okay, so this is the completed eye look. I'm going to hop off camera and do my lashes and mascara, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts. So guys, this is the completed look using all of the Primark eyeshadow palettes. Just to let you know, my lashes are styled by Lit Lash. These are the baby doll lashes, and if you'd like to buy any of their lashes, you can use the code ALEX10 on their website to get some money off. It is not an affiliate code, so don't worry, it's just to help you to get some money off. My mascara is the Too Faced Better Than Sex, and also I do have a Barium High Vis liner in my waterline. Are you shocked? No, you're not, because I use these all the time. This is in the shade False Alarm. I feel like it really finishes off the lower lash line with the red there as well. And my lips are a combination of the Colourpop Lippy Stick in the shade Capiche, and also I just put some of this Primark Demi Matte lipstick in the shade Naked on top to lighten it, but it didn't kind of work. It just made it a little bit more glossy. Now it is time to talk about these eyeshadow palettes. So first of all, I just want to say I'm not a fan of the packaging. I don't really like, it's quite big and like bulky, and I don't know, it's just quite like for the younger audience sort of thing. So yeah, the packaging is not my favourite. However, I think the formula in these palettes is actually really good, especially for the price of £5. I know a lot of brands now are doing these like monochrome palettes, but these are really pretty. I'd say probably the cherry one is my favourite, and then the peachy one is probably my least favourite, just because the colour story in this palette doesn't really excite me. I mean, the pinky shades in the top row are really pretty, but as a whole this palette doesn't really gravitate towards me. However, the cherry palette has a really lovely colour scheme, and the shimmers in it are beautiful as well. So do I think you need to pick these up? I mean, if you're looking for a cheap monochrome palette, I mean, definitely recommend checking them out. The Makeup Obsession and Makeup Revolution monochrome palettes are as well really good. So I don't know, it just depends if you think you need them in your collection. I'm actually really impressed with the formula in these palettes. I didn't expect them to be as good as they were, and they all blend super seamlessly in with each other. I think all of these palettes together as a whole go really well together. I love the shades. I'd probably say the cherry one's my favourite, just because I was super impressed with the like reddy shade that I put all over my lid. And then the peach one's probably not my favourite, just because the colour story is a bit like boring to me. Like, it doesn't really gravitate, no. I don't really feel gravitated towards the palette, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think if you are a collector of Primark makeup, then these would be a great addition to your collection, just because they haven't really done palettes like this before. I think they're really fun, really nice for in time for summer as well. I feel like this eye look is really summery. I feel like if you've already got a monochrome yellow palette in your collection, then you definitely don't need the honey one. However, I feel like there isn't a lot of monochrome like red palettes on the market, so I feel like this would be a nice addition to your collection if you haven't got like a red palette. The peachy one, I don't know if you necessarily need it. Maybe if you like these shades, it is quite nice for every day, but yeah, I don't know if you especially need it. I feel like the colour story is a bit random as well, so it just depends on your personal preference, which is the same as like every palette in the world. Depends on what you like, and if you think that you want these in your collection, they're £5, they're not breaking the bank whatsoever. So I feel like if you wanted to give them a go, you could. So that pretty much rounds up my thoughts and opinions on these new Primark eyeshadow palettes. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below if these palettes are something that you would like. If you've already picked them up and you've tried them, please let me know your thoughts down below. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!